Hello, I'm Deb, and this is Paige and Wyatt Snelson. This is Chris, my husband. He's with me right now. But Paige and Wyatt just graduated from Finding the Family a month ago.
Yeah.
About a month ago. Yeah. Wyatt's like, yes. We're just going to sit and ask you a couple of questions. We want everybody to get to know you, a little piece of you like we've gotten to know you over the last year, okay?
I want to tell you how proud I am of you. And I want to use this time to do that a little bit. There's lots of different personalities that come through the ministry, and everyone's different. That you're different than Lila, Lisa, or anyone else that's been through here. And I think that's cool how that is. And you learn differently. And what I loved about you, watching you, one of the biggest things I loved is that we would teach you something or try to show you something, and sometimes it didn't resonate in your heart. It didn't resonate with you, but you would take it and you would ponder it, and you would weigh it. I think weigh it before the Lord and weigh it in your heart, and you would think about it, and then you would say, I think they're right, and you begin to do whatever we were talking about. And I used to tell Debbie, Paige gets the Gold Star Award
all the time.
Yeah, because I would see that in you. And it wasn't an immediate thing. You didn't always like right away. So do you see that? Do you kind of feel that way in your heart? Like, is that kind of your personality? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How much do you love your boy?
Beyond explaining.
Yeah. I think it's very appropriate that Wyatt is sitting next to you. Because I don't know that I recognized that, how much you loved him, until he got here. Mm-hmm. I know that you talked a lot about him and how you wanted to get him here, but once he got here, oh gosh, it was so evident to me that this young lady loves her little boy, and she wants what's best for him. Yeah. So what was the hardest thing about coming here to find a family?
I have to say the hardest thing was just the mental part, like my mind fighting itself. Like I was so scared to come, but I was even more scared of missing the chance of coming and what I could be missing out on. Mm-hmm. And I knew that if I stayed, that I would fail, because I had done it over and over and over again. I'd actually done what DFS wanted me to do 2 and 3 times over, and I would just fall apart again, and I would lose it all. So I just knew that I wanted something that would help me succeed, because I knew that's what I wanted, but I just couldn't seem to figure it out without caving.
Yeah, that's good. So what was your aha moment here? I mean, when did it kind of click with you?
After I got Wyatt with me, I could really start to heal. I had tried on my own, but I wasn't happy, and there was still something missing. And after I got Wyatt with me, I could really let go and just let God. And so I guess there wasn't an exact aha moment. It was just a gradual thing where it just got easier to let go. And then I learned to trust you guys, and if my mind wanted to fight whatever was going on, I could just remind myself, no, I've learned that I trust these people. And, listening and doing what they're asking me to do is what's best, even if I don't understand it. And even if my insides are tearing me apart, I knew that I'd done made up my mind that I trusted you guys.
Yeah.
So, I thank you for that, for trusting us. Yeah. Part of our goal in showing you how to trust us is to hopefully teach you how to trust Christ. Mm-hmm. We're going to let you down. Mm-hmm. People are going to let you down. We've learned that. So how has that changed your life? I know that before you came, that you had a relationship with Jesus before you came, and so how has that changed or evolved over the time since you've been here?
I guess my trust and my faith in God has just gotten stronger, and there's less doubts. I don't really think I'm doubting God. I just doubt myself, but I know if God's backing me that I can do all things. So,
Paige, what's your future look like?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's endless because
Yeah.
I'm sure God has more for me than what I could imagine. I still want to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. So
I'm 50 years old. I still say that. Yeah. What am I going to do when I grow up? Yeah. Are you afraid of your future now?
I'm excited. Like, I don't know what my future is going to hold, but I know God has something for me, and I'm ready to see what it is.
Yes.
I have heard you say that phrase so many times, and that was not the woman that walked in, a year and a month ago into finding a family. A little bit about your testimony is that you came in really angry at everything, mostly at yourself because of the situation that you had gotten yourself into. But you were very negative when you first came in here. And I remember when I told you, if you don't start being positive, you can't stay here. And it made you mad. It made you mad. So, but, you combat, we talked about this in November, you combat negativity with a thankful heart. You just start thinking about the things that you can thank God for. And it's really a retraining. And I saw that happen with you, but you have said the phrase, I'm so excited so much, I would say in the past 6 months. And it is beautiful and refreshing. And that was one big, beautiful thing that I saw, this big turnaround, your positivity about life and about your future and about Wyatt and parenthood and all of that. And another huge thing that I saw happen, which was really fun. Could you say, we'll just ask you point blank, did you like Chris when you first came?
I don't like either one of you guys.
So tell me why.
I felt like, I guess it's kind of like you guys were being mean to me and judging me and just all these things. But now I know that you were trying to help me and you weren't trying to hurt me. But sometimes help doesn't always feel good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I was just thinking as you were sharing that, when God is trying to help us, it doesn't make sense all the time in our heads, right? It doesn't make sense to us. That's good what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you had your job?
August would have been 1 year, so just a little over a year.
A little over a year, yeah. You have a job, you have an apartment now, living on your own.
Yeah.
Single mom, making it, paying the bills, right?
Yeah.
Paying off my student loans.
Paying off the student loans off, yeah. Yeah, how's that feel?
It feels great.
Yeah.
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 You always had that capability. And I think we saw that the reason why your mind fights you so much is because you're a very intelligent person and you're always thinking of 15 different scenarios it could go. And I think learning how to just be still, like Lyle had said in his testimony, being still and waiting on the Lord for an answer, that's what's changed everything. You have learned to sit and not really self-analyze, but just self-regulate a little bit by focusing on, what's true and noble and right and pure and lovely and admirable, like it says in Philippians. So what would you say your biggest takeaway from finding a family, being with us for a year at finding a family, is?
Coping.
Yes.
I learned to cope, but also just I have you guys as a family that is stable, and just to kind of use it as an example, and just the family atmosphere, and that I'm not doing this alone.
Yeah.
And
so Wyatt, do you like church? Yeah. Tell me about your favorite time to go to church. Is it Sundays or Wednesdays?
Sunday.
Sundays? What do you like about Sundays?
It's better than Wednesdays because at Wednesdays I'm tired.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So Sundays you're fresh and ready to go. Yeah. So what's your favorite thing about church?
Worshiping and coloring and playing.
Yeah. So I like that, you put the most important thing first. Worshiping.
Yeah.
That's your favorite thing about church. I love that, Wyatt. Just like I'm proud of your mom, Wyatt, I'm very proud of you too.
Yeah. My big question to you, so that you can tell somebody out there maybe that is thinking about coming to finding a family, or a family member that has somebody that they love that they know needs the kind of support that we offer at Finding a Family, what would you say to that person who's afraid of coming?
That you should be more scared of what you're going to miss out on than what you're leaving behind.
Wow. Yeah. What'd you leave behind, Paige?
A mess. A whole mess.
So you were in a program for 10 months before you came to us, Restoration House in Arkansas. So Restoration House is an inpatient program. So you were doing fine in that. And now before Restoration House, this is two-part. What was your life like before you went to Restoration House? And then what were your fears when you graduated from Restoration House? What were your fears because you knew that you were going to go back into freedom to make your own decisions?
Okay, before I went to Restoration House, my life was a mess. I was lonely, scared, hopeless, afraid, pretty empty. I was pretty much surrounded by people that didn't care if I was alive or dead. I didn't have my son. It had been probably going on 3 years. I don't know, maybe 2, but it'd been a while since I'd had him. And I tried over and over and over again to get him back. And I'd actually done everything that they wanted me to do 2 and 3 times over, but I was still a mess. I couldn't stay sober, or I would, I was just an emotional wreck. I would fall apart all over again. So I could never get there. So I went to Restoration House. And when I got out, I knew I was scared to go back home, go back to the same surroundings that I came from and the same triggers,
Right.
And so I asked Rebecca if she would find me a place where I couldn't screw it up. I wanted somebody to set me up to win, and I didn't want to lose it again.
Wow. I remember that day that I got the call from Rebecca, the director of Restoration House, and she just told me, she said, I'm just telling you, this girl is special. And so she gave you this glowing recommendation. She said it's not going to be easy because you got all kinds of guards up, she told me. So when you first came, that's those guards that you had up, is you just didn't know who to trust. You didn't know if you could trust anybody really at this point in life. I have grown not just to like you, Paige, but I love you. And the harder you pushed against me, I was ready to just lean in and struggle because I thought you just need some love. You fought a little harder against that because it was uncomfortable to have somebody love you, even if you pushed back. Chris said so many times, I'm so proud of Paige, but it goes deeper than that. With me, I'm not just proud of you. You're like a daughter to me, and I love you, and I will always be rooting for you. And so if anybody comes into the ministry, everybody leaves different. It's all in what you want to take out, isn't it? With you. Do you want to take out relationship, or do you want to take out information? Because if you take out relationship with God, and you take out relationship with the people that have surrounded you here at Finding a Family and at church, then you got what you wanted, set you up for success, right? Because that's a scaffolding that will be with you on the outside of Finding a Family. So what is one of your favorite things about living on your own away from Finding a Family and making it on your own?
Being closer to Wyatt's school and work.
It's a little bit of a drive out here.
Yeah. I don't know. Because we were living on our own here too, kind of.
You just said living on your own here. So you felt the structure of having the accountability and the direction and all of that, but you get to live in your own home out here, right? And so, Wyatt had his own bedroom. You have your own home, full home to live in. Was that what you expected whenever you first heard about this?
Not at first, but after I got to see the website, I was like, wow, this is for me.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. So I would say also for somebody who is fearful about coming to the ministry, that like both of the interviews that we've done this month have said with Lyle and Lisa and with Paige, it's way better to live life like this than what you leave behind. Because behind what we leave behind is destruction and a rat race and a cycle over and over again. And so the cycle then, because we do end up living a lot, and it's a cycle, but the cycle of living for the Lord means that you grow stronger and you do more and you grow stronger. And in each phase, you bless more people in your life, and certainly you get to bless Wyatt. Thank you for coming and talking to us. And please stay tuned because we have more things to say. We wanted to introduce our families to you that have just graduated so that you can hear their heart concerning what we do out here. And I'll kind of share a little bit about the heart of why we do it pretty soon. So